Hello and welcome back, everyone. Great to be with you. Excited for another week of Zohar. And today being the fifth day of Aries, we're awakening all the light of Leo, all the light of transformation of selfishness and hatred to love and to unity. So every day when we connect to the Zohar, we meditate to awaken more love in the world. This is a day where that's most important because it's exactly what the world needs. So as we're studying, we're affecting the entire month of Leo and meditating that this study transforms us. And today we're going to speak a bit about also the power of this wisdom, the power of this light. We're going to speak about our responsibility in this world, and we meditate with deep appreciation that we open up our hearts, that it's the Creator directly teaching us, that it's the light of our soul that is teaching us, and that we can really transform through this study, transform ourselves, and transform the world. So let's begin with the prayer of the Ari to open up our hearts, to support our connection, to awaken this transformation within. And here we go. Awakening the deepest appreciation for the merit that we have to have access to this light. We live in such a blessed time after Rav Shimon has already revealed all the secrets, after all the teachers before us, our teachers, the Rav and Karen and Rav Branwan and Rav Ashlag, going back through all the tzaddikim. Today we also have the support of two powerful tzaddikim, one specifically the Ohev Yisrael, the After Rebbe, who also was all about love. So here we go. ריבון העולמים ואדוני האדונים, אב הרחמים והסליחות ומודים לך לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו וכידה ושתך ושקר אותנו לתורתך ולעבודתך ועבודת הקודש ונתת לנו חלק בשדות תורתך הקדושה. ואנו מחיינו אשר עשיתי עמנו חסד גדול כזה. וכן אנחנו מפילים תחנוננו לפניך שתמחול ותסלח כל חטאותינו ועוונותינו ואל יהיו עוונותינו מבדילים בינינו לבינך. וכן יהי רצונך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו שתכונן את לבבינו ליראתך ולאהבתך ותקשיב אוזניך לדברינו אלה ותפתח לבבינו הערה בסודות תורתך. וילמדנו זה נחת רוח לפני חסדך ובטח כך ניחוח. ותציל עלינו עומק כל נשמתנו בכל בחינתנו ושיתנוצצו ניצוצות לבדיך הקדושים. אשר להגיד עידן גדית לדבריך לעולם. וזכותם וזכות אבותם וזכות אותם ותמותם וקדושתם יעמוד לנו קשה בדברם אלו ובזכותם תעננו במה שאנו לומדים כמאמר נעים זה נראות ישראל גל לנהב וביטן יפעם מתורתך כי אדוני יתן חוכמה מפי דעת ותבונה יהי לא צונים מפי והגנו בפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי. Chapter 16 of the portion of Vayeshev. We're continuing with the narrative in Vayeshev where Judah separates from his brothers, he goes down, he enters a state of lower consciousness, and he ends up getting married, having three sons. His first son marries a very beautiful woman named Tamar, and maybe we'll learn more about her, but Tamar was not just a beautiful woman, she actually was a very spiritually elevated woman. If I'm not mistaken, she was the granddaughter, the daughter or granddaughter, I think the daughter of Shem. Shem was the son of Noah, right? Shem was the teacher of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shem was a very, very elevated soul. And either daughter or granddaughter, I don't remember right now, but she was a very, very special person. She wasn't just some nice, beautiful woman that Judah found for his son. And it said that his son, we said yesterday, last lesson, that he was Ra, he was evil, which means he let his selfish desires control him. And he acted in a way of selfishness, not in a way that is in affinity with the light, which the light is always to create, to receive for the sake of sharing. The light is always a force of creation. And it says that he detached himself from life, as we said, that caused him death. And so Judah says in chapter 38 of Genesis, verse 8, he says, Vayomer Yehuda leOnan. Yehuda says to his second son, his son Onan, Bo el eshet achicha ve'emota. Join with your brother's wife and do your duty by her as her brother-in-law. Ve'akem zera le'achicha. And provide offspring for your brother. So I mentioned last time I would explain this a little more, and we can't get into all the explanation right now. But the way it would work in ancient times, there was this practice called yibum. Yibum basically is when, let's say, there are two brothers, and the older brother, or let's say one of the brothers, dies without children, then it is the responsibility of his sibling, his other brother, his younger brother, usually, let's say in this case, to actually marry his wife and conceive a son, conceive a child in the name of his brother, right? So it's his brother's wife and his brother. They will conceive, which means they will draw down the soul of the brother who passed away without children, and that will, as it says, provide offspring for your brother. That will keep your brother's name. That will, as the Zohar teaches, allows for the soul to reincarnate and come into this world to allow that soul to complete its tikkun. Now, there's lots of understandings about this, and we'll learn more about it. But this concept of yibum, that's the basic idea. It's called the levirate marriage, something like that in English. And that's what Yehuda was telling his son Onan to do. Go and marry your brother's wife and draw down his soul through reincarnation to correct his soul. His soul didn't manage to finish what it had to do, and you, by having a child with your brother's wife, will actually help your brother reincarnate as his own wife's child. I know it sounds out there, and we'll learn more about this, but in practice, this is not practiced today anymore, of course. But the process the soul needs to go through still does exist. Either way, so that's what Yehuda instructed his son to do. Now the Zohar is going to go into a kind of like a tangent based on this idea. So here we go, paragraph 155. So as we said, Judah calls his son Onan, his second son, and tells him, "Go marry your brother's wife," etc. Rabbi Shimon opens and says, "Hayiroti mitzafon vayat mizrach shemesh יקרא בשמי ויבוא סגנים כמו חומר וכמו יוצר ימרוס tit." So he quotes a verse in Isaiah. It says, "Hayiroti mitzafon vayat." I have risen from the north, and he has come. Mimizrach shemesh yikra vishmi, from the sunrise, one who calls my name. Veyavo seganim, kamo chomer, and he trampled rulers like mud. Uchmo yotzer imrastit, like a potter treading clay. Rabbi Shimon brings in this verse to help explain this whole concept and this story that we're speaking about in chapter 38 in Genesis. Tachazeh, come and see, Rabbi Shimon says. Kami inu bnei nasha tipshin. So Rabbi Shimon begins, he starts off strong. Come see how stupid people are. Come see how foolish people are. Why are we so foolish? Why are we so stupid? Why does Rabbi Shimon use such strong language? Because we do not know, and we do not search, we do not care, we do not look to know the ways of the Holy One, blessed be He, to know the ways of the Creator. The hakulhu naimin, we're all sleeping. They're all sleeping, Rabbi Shimon says. The la mitare shente bechorehon, and sleep never leaves their eyes. Rabbi Shimon says that we're foolish, we're stupid because we're living life asleep. We're not interested in actually being guided in life. We're not actually interested in fulfilling our purpose. We're not interested in learning what life is all about. We're missing out. We're living life as it's random. We're living life as as the effect in this world. We're not catching on to our work and our tikkun. We're not connecting to our purpose and connecting to the Creator and understand the ways of the Creator and understand that's really our way. Paragraph 156. Tachaze, come and see. Kuchabrichu, oops, wrong way. Kuchabrichu avad leila vanash kagavn di leila. Rav Shimon says, come and see. The Creator created each and every one of us. Creator created humanity in the image above, as above. Kola iu bechokhmata. Everything created in wisdom. Everything in this world, especially our body, the human body, is created in the mirror image of divine perfection. Divine perfection. The way that your body is formed, the way that your body operates. There is not a single limb or body part in the body. That does not exist or was not created with divine supernal wisdom. Everything about us is perfect. Let's say in a general way first, right? The way that your hands are put together and work, the way all of your inner organs, right? And we want to always remind ourselves that we're not just reading the words of Rabbi Shimon. We want to experience how Rabbi Shimon at this moment he was revealing this. He was awakening deep appreciation of how blind we are to the divinity that is even the way that we're made up, and how foolish we are for not wanting to see that and not wanting to know that and not wanting to appreciate that, not wanting to connect it. It's important to understand the miracle that is the mechanics of our body, the way that our heart pumps and pumps blood throughout our body, and the way our liver works, and the way that our stomach works and our intestines, the way that our lungs work. The fact that we have fingernails at the tips of our fingers and nails at the tips of our toes. The fact that we have 10 toes and 10 fingers. The fact that we have exactly 14 joints in our fingers in our hand. The fact that the hair grows in certain places and doesn't grow in other places. The fact that hair grows at certain ages and doesn't grow at other ages. The fact that we have opposable thumbs, right? Everything about our body. Nothing is random about it. Everything is in divine wisdom. And the Zohar, we'll learn more about this when we get to Pinchas, especially. We'll learn about how perfect and divine our body is, and it's so important to appreciate it. Deha, kevan dit takan kol gufa. So now the Zohar says, when our body is, and Rav Ashlag mentions that our body is actually set up perfectly according to the Sfirot. Everything is set up in perfection. When the body is complete, when it's perfect, when it's perfected, in all of its different body parts as it should be. Meaning, when we were in our mother's womb and we were forming in our mother's womb, and we developed to become whole, right? The truth is, I don't remember what week it is. I think within 20 weeks, most of the body is already formed. Don't remember the exact. I think within a few weeks there's already a heartbeat, right? But you know, the general form of the body is formed way earlier than the 9 months. And what happens at that moment? Kuchabrichu ishtataf bahadeh. The Creator joins with him. What does the Creator join with that body? In join with that body, what happens is ve'ayil bein nishmata kadisha. The Creator imbues, inserts into that perfect little body a divine holy soul. Begin the olafa leile vanasham. What's the point of our soul? Listen to how beautiful this is. The point of our beautiful divine soul is to teach, to guide, to instruct us, to instruct the individual. What's the point of our soul? To teach us lemehach be'achoi deoraita, to guide us in the ways of the Torah, to guide us in the ways of the Creator's light and wisdom, to put us on the Creator's path, to perfect ourselves and work on our tikkun, ulmita pikudoi, and to fulfill the Creator's direction, right? It translates as the commandments, but the Creator's direction for us. Our soul is what's supposed to guide us and teach us. Begin the takan bal nashkit kayaot. For every individual, this is true for everyone. For every individual, for every person to perfect themselves properly throughout their lifetime. And here Rav Ashlag adds a beautiful phrase, which is one of the fundamental teachings we have to understand about our own spiritual work. He says that's where this whole concept is based on a beautiful teaching which is called Nishmat Adam Telamdenu. That a person's soul teaches them. This is the highest state of being, highest state of consciousness. People think that, oh wow, when I study enough, I'll know so much, and then I'll learn from the Zohar, and I'll learn from this Kabbalist, and I'll learn from Sefer Yetzirah, and I'll learn from Talmud Esesfirot, Book of Formation, the 10 Luminous Emanations. I'll study from all these places. I'll study from angels. I'll study from tzaddikim, from righteous people. What's the highest level of study? The Zohar says the highest level of study, Rav Ashlag teaches, highest level of study is when you study from your own divine soul. Your own soul teaches you. Where you don't, nothing outside is really going to teach you anything. What's really going to happen is it's your own soul that teaches you. Your own soul guides you. That's the highest level. That's why when each and every one of us were in our mother's womb, there was an angel that taught our soul everything. So then our soul could teach us everything. Our soul knows everything. The problem is not my soul's connection to the light. My problem is my connection to my soul. That's all that's lacking. All the lack of clarity, all the lack of, success is not a lack of connection of my soul to the Creator. It's a lack of my connection to my own soul. Within my soul, there is everything. All the wisdom and all the light and all the strength, all the power, all the fulfillment. What's lacking is that bridge between me and my soul. The Creator gave everything to us already. This is the foundation. This is the foundation of the path of Kabbalah. This is the foundation of every soul in this world. We already have everything. We are not trying to become good. We're not negative trying to become positive. We are positive trying to reveal that positivity. That's Pesach, by the way. That's Pesach. Once you get rid of all the chametz, that the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, it's just stop everything that's not the soul. Because then the soul can just shine. Our job is to just get out of the way. By get out of the way, we mean get our ego out of the way. So Nishmat Adam Telamdenu. That your own soul can teach you. That your connection to your soul is finally there, and therefore there's nothing that you are not connected to and you don't know in a positive way. And that's, for example, one of the tools that we have, which is incredibly powerful, is the Tikkun HaNefesh. The Tikkun HaNefesh, correction of the soul, is actually what helps bring us back to that original perfection where our soul was given to us. Right? The Tikkun HaNefesh is called the correction of the soul, the Nefesh, the lowest aspect of the soul. It helps align our consciousness and our body to the soul that already exists within us, that already has everything, all the wisdom and all the knowledge and all the connection, all the light. Everything is already there. Paragraph 157. And since we have within us this divine, beautiful, holy soul. Mibayle levanash. We have this soul that we come we have this beautiful soul that is in the image of God, which means has the essence of the Creator. The Zohar says that just as the Creator can create, that we were given the power to create as well. That therefore it's important for us to also multiply that image of the holy, supernal holy king in our world, which the Rav Ashlag explains literally, it means to bring more children into this world, to awaken the divine nature of our soul, which is the light of the Creator, which is to create, to procreate, to in the image of God create and reveal, bring more souls into this world. That's why the Zohar says that having children is so important. Now, I want to preface this because the Zohar is going to go into a long discourse about the importance of having children. I want to say it now. I'll probably say it again. Children does not just mean literal physical children. Having children also means being like the Creator, which means creating lasting goodness in this world. Okay? It is our job, every one of us, to reveal the lasting goodness that my soul is meant to, in the image of the Creator, to bring into this world. For many, it could be children. For others, it could be another way of bringing this light into the world. For most, it probably means both. And this is in this secret, the Zohar is saying, what's the spiritual principle behind this understanding? There is as we've referred to this many times, a spiritual supernal river that flows. This river that flows from the supernal Yesod, okay? Supernal foundation, supernal Yesod. In the upper, higher realms, there is an endless flow of light and positivity that is constant. La paskan me moy almin. The water never stops. The flow never stops. The adami levanash, and therefore, every single one of us should be like that flow. De la yafsik nahara ubekora delay behayalma. That just as that flow never stops from the river, our light in our world should never stop flowing as well. Which means bringing children to this world is what continues, like you might say it's your DNA or your name, but no, it's really the light of your soul that continues to shine into this world. But also, as we said, your creation, your positivity, your impact should never stop in this world. And when a person is unsuccessful in this world, to keep their light flowing like this river in this world, the Creator will uproot them from this world and bring them back again, so they'll have another chance for their light to flow endlessly in this world, whether it's through having children or their light that shines through what they create and bring into this world. That's how important it is, because we're meant to be like the Creator. We're meant to be endless, constantly flowing, constantly revealing light, constantly awakening the Creator's endless light in this world, in whatever way we're meant to. Paragraph 158. Tachazeh, come and see. Going back to that verse Rav Shimon began the discussion with in Isaiah. Hayiroti mitzafon vayat. When it says, I have roused him from the north and he has come. What are we talking about? When it says Hayiroti, I have risen him, I have roused him. Da itauta, this represents an awakening. The zivuga devanash beharma, of the unification, the mating of a person in this world. Diu itaruta misitra de tzafon. That is actually an awakening from the north. Right? It says I was awakened from the north. The north always represents the energy of gvura, left column. And we've learned many times that the desire to that the force behind procreation is the left column. It's necessary. Without left column, without desire to receive, there would be life would cease to exist. There needs to be that left column. So the point is to use the left column to use the north left column in a way of desire to receive for the sake of sharing, and that's how that is transformed into revealing light. Then it says Vayat, Vayat, and he comes. Dahi nishmata kadisha. So continuing the verse, what does it mean? What comes? What arrives? It's the holy soul. So when there's an awakening from the north, which means procreation, unification, mating between a couple, then the holy soul comes. The atya mil'ela that comes from above, meshada la mil'ela. The Creator sends this soul down from above, atya b'hai alma, and it arrives in this world, the alat begob nasha kid kamaran. And it enters into people as we've learned. And actually, the Zohar, we learned about this in the portion. I don't remember which portion. Maybe it was Vayera or Lech Lecha. I don't remember. I don't remember which portion. But we learned how actually, when when a couple is together to conceive a child, actually, the not every time a couple is together they conceive, obviously, right? But the time that they will conceive, the soul of that child is prepared and is present there with them, and is actually prepared to enter into, right, into, let's say, the soul, into the sperm as it enters and unites with the egg. It's actually the soul is there ready to come in. It's not, people think, oh, an accident happens, doesn't happen, it works, it doesn't work. You have to do this, you have to do that for it to work. The soul knows exactly when it's going to come. The soul knows exactly how it's going to come. None of us have any idea most of the time, but the soul, it happens in a perfect way, and it knows it's drawn down from the Creator. This time it's going to work and it's going to be perfect. And a lot of us almost have nothing to do with that in terms of the spiritual force that's behind it. It's all divinely orchestrated. Then the verse continues, "Mimizrach shemesh," from the east, from the sunrise. 159, Mizrach shemesh, sunrise. Da'ata hahu nahad v'nafik. This represents this place, this position of this river that issues forth endlessly, which is what's called the Tiferet, which is the place of the Yesod, right? Yesod and Tiferet is both levels of a central column, so it's the Yesod. And that's the place where souls come forth from. V'itneherat, and that's where they shine. The soul shines from there. Right? So the Zohar is explaining, Rabbi Shimon is explaining this verse, how it's talking about how the couple comes together, the soul comes down, the soul shines. V'yavo seganim, right? And it tramples the rulers, right? Or it shall come upon princes, right? It's another way to translate. Seganim represents people of position or power, rulers or princes. These represent the forces in this world, the atyan begin hahu itaruta dinishmetin, that are awakened, right? The forces of this world, the hosts of this world represent the nukva, which is called the world, and the forces that come are all the angels, and the forces that come with the soul as the soul is awakened in this world. The soul is born with many other forces. Rav Shimon here points out that, as we spoke about in the introduction, in the prologue of the Zohar, paragraph 220, how when a soul comes into this world, it's born with angels, specifically a positive angel and negative angel, the soul's voice and the ego voice. These are the souls, the entourage that comes with the soul, all the positive and negative souls, all the positive and negative angels that come with the soul. As it says in the verse, like mud or like mortar. Kegamna de'ita banash begufa. Meaning when it's like when there's an awakening of the body of the person, there's just called like mortar or mud, right? We're made from the molded material that makes our body. So when the soul comes in, paragraph 160. Therefore, the Creator makes couples, ve'ata nishmatim le'alma, and sends souls down into this world. Ve'chavruta ishtakach le'ela v'tata. And this unification exists both above and below. right? Also to understand the power that a couple has in this world. That's why a relationship is so important, and more importantly, the love in the relationship is so important. Because love in the relationship, or the lack of love in the relationship, actually affects all the physical and spiritual worlds. The way a couple behaves together, when there is love and unity within that couple, within the interactions and consciousness of that couple, that affects the entire world. When there is separation, negativity, that affects the entire world. That's why some relationships really are supposed to end. They're actually causing more harm, right? That's why there is a concept in the Kabbalistic wisdom as divorce. Sometimes, yes, relationships need to end. They had their purpose, and now they need to end because actually it can cause a lot of harm. But when it's done right, the light that can be drawn into the world, the positive effect that can happen in the world is beyond our imagination. Umkora dechola hu baruch. And the source of these relationships is blessed. Now, this is also this definition the Zohar here is using, blessed, is a big secret when it comes to the concept of creation, not just having children in this world, but having continuity in this world. How do you know if something is really blessed? We learned this in the prologue as well. What was the letter that created this world? It was the letter Bet. The letter Bet is the beginning of the word Baruch, which means blessed. The Creator chose the word Bet because true blessings, true creation must be eternal. It must be constant. They must have bracha, blessing, the light that shines. And that's why the letters of the word bracha are Bet. Bet is the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet that is doubled, right? It goes from 1 to 2, it doubles. Reish also is the letter that doubles because if you go, the Reish is the numerical value 200. So you go Kuf is 100, and then it doubles Reish 200. And then Kaf, it also goes Yud. So the sequence of numbers, let's say Aleph, Gimel, Daled, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yud is 10. You go Yud to Kaf. 10 jumps to 20, also doubles. So the word bracha, blessing, is the secret of doubling blessings, which means it's exponential. It's not just a normal sequence of growth, linear sequence of growth. It's a doubling. It's that exponential, limitless growth. And the hey of bracha, Michael Berg explains. I didn't learn this. Michael Berg taught this on one of the lectures once. The first three letters represent this doubling, exponential, limitless blessing that shines, and the Hey represents our world. The Malchut represents our world. So the doubling of blessings in the world. So how do you know if something's really blessed? And then you can apply this to any area of your life. Where is there exponential continuity? Right? That's also like the blessing of the center, the blessings of Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon's light exists forever. Moses, why is Moses' light through the Torah, through the Bible, so effective and helping so many people and shining this world? Because it has bracha. It is connected to the Creator's divine light that never stops shining. And that's what we want to create in this world. That's why that's one of the points of having children. That's one of the point of creating and bringing goodness into this world. What's one thing that can live forever? V'tzidkato omedet la'ad. A person's sharing actions also live forever. The charity, true sharing from the heart, also lives forever. And therefore, kutshebrichu avad lei levanash, begin liishtadla ve'elchoi. The Creator created us in order to follow in the Creator's ways. And what are the Creator's ways? Vela yafsik mekorei umabua delay la'almin. For our light to never stop, just like the light of the river, the flow never stops, for our light to also never stop, which means having children, which means being part of creation in this world, doing everything we can to keep that flow of our soul, of our light, in whatever ways that we're meant to in this world. That's through our sharing action. That's like being like the Creator, to be limitless and to be sharing and to be transforming our selfishness into that of sharing. That's how we channel the Creator's light through us. We're over time. We're going to stop here. We'll continue with paragraph 161 tomorrow. But that's how we want to live our day, and it's beautiful that we're studying this today on the 5th day of Aries, which is the day of Leo. the day of sharing like the sun, to be like the sun today, to don't not to block. One of my favorite lessons from Shimon Sarfati, he would say that our job is to not block the creator's energy, not block the energy of the center, not block the energy of the tzaddikim. The light will shine endlessly. Our job is just not to get in the way. That's our work. So today, don't get in the way. Do what you can to share of this endless light. Lots of love, everyone, and have an amazing week. And see you soon.